Hello everyone and welcome back to Catharsis Inc. As you see, my background has changed as the weather gets colder and as I get my office put together. I am transitioning into videoing from my office, so bear with me as I adjust the lighting and the camera, etc. But this week we are going to do part 2 of the Dollar Tree haul craft video. So if you haven't watched the Dollar Tree haul video or part 1, do that now. And if you have, let's get started. For today's project, I'm going to finally be making the hanging shelves that go above my kitchen sink. And I will be using the decorative nautical rope. I got 2 of those from the Dollar Tree. And also, my grandfather so graciously cut and drilled holes in and whitewashed these 2 boards for me that are going to be the shelves themselves. So thank him kindly for that. And just a shout out to both my grandparents because I'm pretty sure they've watched every single video I've ever made and they're my biggest supporters. So thank you both. I love you. But anyways, you'll need these 2 things, and also you might need some scissors depending upon how long you want your ropes to be. The first thing you're going to want to do is pick the side of the wood that you want on top. And then you're going to put the rope through here and then tie a knot underneath. Then it'll look like this, and this will be your bottom shelf. So we're going to take the second roll of rope and do that to the hole on the other side. Okay, so I did the same thing over here. So now you're going to want to determine how far apart you want your 2 shelves to be. So depending upon how far you want it to be, you will go ahead and tie a knot on that. And then also on this one as well. And then we will thread it through the same hole as we did this bottom shelf. As you can see, I have 2 knots on either rope now. So I'm going to take my second board and thread it through to the knots. And as you see, I've done that there. And if you're having trouble getting your knots to be even with one another, just keep them loose until you put the board on so you can determine how high each of them need to be. So now we are going to thread each rope into the back hole of each now. But make sure that you leave enough rope of a hoop so we can hang it at the end. So as you see, I've ran it through the second hole, knotted it, then ran it through the second board and knotted the bottom as well. And you're going to have some excess which you can cut off at the end. So we're just going to do that to the other hole as well. I anchored a hook onto the wall, and then this is the final shelf. So both ropes are attached to the hook, and it turned out really good. Makes the perfect shelf right above my kitchen sink. For today's project, I'm going to be making 2 different types of room sprays. One is anti-bad vibe spray and the other one is uplifting spray. So I'm taking the 2 spray bottles that I got from the Dollar Tree. And then for the anti-bad vibe spray, you're going to need witch hazel, which I got at Walmart. You're also going to need sage essential oil and lavender essential oil. You'll need an amethyst stone, lavender, dried lavender, and dried rosemary. And then for me, since I'm a forest witch, I'm also using half moon water, and I chose to collect the moon water during a waning moon since we're dispelling bad vibes. And then for the uplifting spray, you're going to need a sardonyx stone, chamomile, dried chamomile, and also dried lavender for this one as well. Lemon juice, dried basil leaves, salt, and extra virgin olive oil. If you happen to have any of these dried ingredients fresh, obviously those would work better than dried. To easier pour everything into the bottle, I've got a mini funnel here that I've purchased at the Dollar Tree in the kitchen section. This will just make it easier for the liquids and your dried items to go in there easier. Of course, your stone you're going to have to put in separately. But we're going to start off with the anti-bad vibe spray. So you're going to want to fill your bottle up half with witch's hazel and then the other half with your moon water. And as you see, I've done that here. And then you can add in a few drops of your sage and your lavender essential oil. I won't be using the lavender essential oil because it's a little strong for me. But I will be using the dried lavender and the dried rosemary to put in there as well. You're going to want to add your crystal to your room spray. Ideally, you're going to want one small enough so it'll fit at the top. Mine's just a little bit too big, so I'm going to be placing it on the bottle because I'm going to be decorating the outside of the bottle with some of the moss from the moss sheet that I bought at the Dollar Tree, and then I had some of this twine in my stock. So I'm going to be cutting a strip of this, wrapping it around, hot gluing that, and then tying the amethyst to the outside of the bottle. And as you see, I've done that here, and it just gives it that cute nature themed look. And you can shake your bottle up and then spray it around the room for an anti-bad vibe spray. For the uplifting spray, you're going to want to use water charged by the rising moon since it's an uplifting spray. But first I'm going to be adding the other ingredients. So far I have added the dried lavender, the salt, the dried basil, and dried chamomile. Now I'm going to add the lemon juice and the olive oil. I forgot to add on the other spray that there's no set amount that you have to put in for your ingredients. Whatever you feel comfortable with doing. I have my lemon juice and my olive oil in there now, and now I'm going to fill the remainder of the bottle with the moon water. The amethyst, my sardonyx stone, is a little too big for the opening of the spray bottle, so I'm going to be placing it on the outside like I did with the other one. Here you have the perfect sprays to keep in your car, in your bedroom, in your home, in your office, to repel bad vibes and uplift your spirits. For my next project, I'm going to be painting moon phase plaques. So I got these wood planks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make two different ones. One's going to be more rustic and the other one's going to be galaxy themed. So I picked out a few paints that I had in my stash. I have regular acrylic and then I have glitter acrylic paint. Also some glitter paints, and I also had some embellishments and cord from my stash as well. And then of course you'll need a pencil for sketching, paintbrush, and a hot glue gun to glue on your cords. I'm going to start with the rustic moon phase plaque, and I'm actually going to do a faux stain look with this brown acrylic paint. So what you do for that is you water the paint down really good, brush it on, and then wipe it off with a dry paper towel, and it should look similar to regular stain. This is what mine turned out like, and I think it looks really good. It's a really dark wood finish color. So now I'm going to take one of my paint bottles and use it for tracing the circles of my moon phases on the plank. And as you can see, 5 circles fit nicely on the plank here. For this wood plank, I'd like my moons to be gold. So I'm going to be taking my gold paint, and the center circle is going to be the full moon, and then I will do the different phases on either side of that. Here are my gold moon phases. You might have to paint over it 2 or 3 times in order to get the wood knot to show, but I think it turned out really good. And you can still see the trace marks, but I kind of like it because it hints at the dark side of the moon. If you don't want those trace marks, just be sure not to trace your pencil around certain parts of your paint bottle so those don't show. I'm going to spray clear finish onto the wood and glue on my embellishment and the cord with the hot glue gun. And for that, I'll just flip it over and hot glue the cord on either side of the plank. And here is the finished product of the rustic moon phase plank. For my next moon phase plank, I'd like to do a galaxy theme. So I've chosen some purples and blues and green colors. I'm gonna do a black background and splatter paint with these four, and then my moon phases are gonna be metallic silver. I've successfully painted the plank all black, and I'm gonna begin splatter painting. Now, if you've never splatter painted before, it does get messy, so you'll want to lay something down to prevent paint from getting everywhere. As an example, you'll put paint on the tip of your brush, and then you will go like this with the bristles all over your plank, and it just gives it that speckled look. That's dry. I want to brush on some silver glitter on top of this just to give it a glittery galaxy feel. I think it turned out really cool looking, guys. I really like the glitter that I added. Gives it that extra galaxy pop. Now I'm going to be taking one of my paint bottles and tracing the moon phases like I did with the other moon plank. And then I'm going to be painting those moon phases with metallic silver. Here's how it turned out. I think it turned out really cool, guys. So now I'm going to spray it with a clear coat finish and hot glue this cord to the back of it for hanging. This is what the final product looks like for the Galaxy Moon Phase plank. For today's project, I will be converting this macaron jewelry holder into a bath salt holder for my bathroom. So for this project, you'll need a glass writer, and I chose the gold one from the Dollar Tree. This macaron jewelry holder was also at the Dollar Tree. You'll also need some bath salts, and I chose the vanilla scented, which is also at the Dollar Tree. I'm also going to be using some glitter glue and gold paint for the design. And I also have some clear finish that I'm going to be spraying on when I'm done painting. And then for the bath salts, I chose ginger, chamomile, lemongrass, green tea, and then soothing sandalwood essential oil, which can also be found at the Dollar Tree. And all of these provide a relaxing, calm, anti-anxiety feel. So that'll make a really nice bath salt. I also have my nail tool that I'm going to be using for painting, and my paintbrush, which I'm going to use for the glitter glue. And then I have just drawn up a rough sketch of what I would like the bath salt holder to look like. So on the front, the top here, I want it to say blessed mess with a moon. And then on the inside of the lid, I'd like it to say mindset is everything. And then I'll be painting a moon and some stars, and then I will be putting some glitter glue over top of that and then setting it with the setting spray. I'm going to be starting with the inside of the lid first. So I'm going to start by writing mindset is everything. I'll put mindset is and then everything here, and then I'll be drawing the moon and the stars in the center. And for that, I'll be using my glass writer pen in gold. To make things easier to draw on what I wanted to draw on, I took the pin out of the macaron holder, and just so that leaves two sides, and it's just easier to draw on it like that. So here is what I did on the inside, and in addition to the moon and stars, I also decided to put some mountains in there. I think it turned out really cute. So once this dries, I'm going to be brushing on some glitter glue on top just to give it an extra sparkle. So while the inside of this dries, I'm going to turn it over and do the outside, which I've chosen to do Blessed Mess with a moon. So I'm going to be taking my glass writer in gold again and just drawing that on. And actually, I didn't even need this nail tool, but if you don't have a glass writer, you can actually just use gold paint and this little nail tool and draw it on that way. Nice thing about painting on ceramic is that if you mess up and need to wipe it off, it easily wipes off with just a wet paper towel. And here is what the outside looks like, and I'm gonna let this dry, and then while the inside and the outside are drying, I'm going to start working on my bath salts. So to create your bath salts, you'll take the other end of the macaroon jewelry holder for bath salts that you'd like, and for this I've chosen vanilla scented, and then you'll want an essential oil of your choice, and then any herbs that you want to put in. So like I said earlier, I chose these 5 that I'd like to put in for a more woodsy, natural, relaxing feel to my bath salts. First, you'll want to dump some of the bath salts into your container, seen here, and then you'll want to take your essential oil and just put a few drops in, however many you'd like. And then I'm just going to take the end of my paintbrush and stir that around to get the essential oils all over the bath salt. Then I'm going to take each of my 4 herbs and put a little bit of each into the bath salt. After you've added your herbs, you'll want to stir that around in your salts as well. The paint is now dry. I'm going to spray the top and the inside of the macaroon jewelry holder with clear finish, and this will protect the paint from chipping. Now that the clear finish is dry, I am going to brush on some glitter glue just to give it a glittery feel. Now you have the perfect container to hold your personalized bath salts, and you can place it right next to your tub for a calm, relaxing bath experience. For this project, I will be painting these cute little triangle shelves that I had got at Target a few years ago. It was in their $1 to $5 section. Up until this point, I've been using them for little knickknacks. Now I would like to use them for my crystal holders, but I don't like, I like the bluish color, but it won't match my altar. So I'm going to be using this satin spray paint in green apple to spray paint over them. Now I'm not sure if Target still has these shelves available, but you can always look at thrift stores or Walmart or Amazon to see if you can find something that is similar to these. Here they are painted. I'm just going to let them dry, and then I will sit them on my altar and place my crystals on them. Here are my new green crystal holders. And there you have it. I hope you all enjoyed the crafts. I actually have in the works more haul videos and more craft videos, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, hit the bell and like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.